Okay, today we're covering the PSM 45 by Crosman, and there are many good reviews on this, and we're going to go ahead and get into this, and we'll compare it to like another member of the Carnival gun family, the Daisy 340. So the Crosman team basically took the Daisy 340 and perfected it. There's a lot of similarities. We'll get into that. Okay. So, of course, the critics, and that can be anybody, I only do positive reviews, the critics and usually competition will say things. And so they said that the safety doesn't work, it's too stiff, it's too hard to cock, you get the basic feeding malfunctions you do from a style like this, like the 340, and it's not true. And I went into this ready to combat any problems I saw. So FP10 is my shooter's choice. It's for real handguns that look like this, the real McCoy, like the Glock. And there's certain applications where we use it. Super slick, special formulation and polymers. And we're not going to use it in the power plant in here. We'll cover what to use in there in the next video. But I'm definitely going to stay after this gun with FP10 in certain spots. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Now, for the safety right here, I just put there and here on each side and then worked it back and forth. Okay, it's just about 30 times. Now, there and also on the slide on certain points. So here, there, and then the other side, there. And then I sat it up for a minute and then I started shooting it. Okay, and the places I'm going to stay after on this gun is definitely this spot right here. This is the catch point on the magazine. I want to save this magazine. It's very high quality for the next Crosman, so I'm going to put some here already and slicks it out. And there, and then on the slide. And I'm going to look to do that every few hundred shots. Okay, so now let's start. Let's see. You judge if I fix the safety, which does come a little stiff, but okay, remember, that's my finger fully extended. It's just the tip of my finger. Okay, it's well situated with the trigger. Okay, so does that look like that's a problem? So you decide. I would say that's good to go. I'm not having any problem moving that with the tip of my finger. Now, as far as it being hard to cock, all right, that's simply not true. Okay, so we're going to get into that. Also, while we're here, I want to take a little pit stop to talk about the sights. They put a white dot on there, which I really appreciate, and I'll explain why. Because I was getting ready to have to, use a fingernail polish like I do on a 340, and it's just considerate to the shooter that they put a nice white dot on there. So I really like that. Okay, so now as far as the mechanics of the gun, after lubing with FP10, and I will be looking to do that every few hundred shots, we need to talk about the mechanics. So the bottom of the gun, the mainframe, you treat it like a train, and the top, the slide, is a tunnel. And you grab that rib section right here, put your thumb there, and you push, pull. So you're pushing on the mainframe and pulling on that slide. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and shoot it, and then you decide if it looks like there's any type of operational problem with this. Okay, so let's go after it now. All right, so it's all loaded up with some black diamonds, which is my favorite BB for this. Okay, so let's see here. So okay, so you have to decide if that looked like any problem. Now, of course, when you're aiming at cans, I'd take my time, but this is my smoothest operating pistol, okay? So there's no problem there. So, okay, now let's start talking about grading this and grading the Crosman engineering team's work here. Okay, the slide is cast metal. It's heavy. The gun overall is 1 pound and 3 ounces. I would say it's pushing more like 1 pound 4 ounces. It's the heaviest out of these style pistols. In the second video, I'll show all 4 of my Carnival pistols, but let me just make it clear. The Crosman team did a great job of making sure it has great harmonics. So what does all that weight mean? Great harmonics. So when you're shooting it, you barely even notice it's a spring gun. It's because it's got good weight on it. So metal cast, metal slide, that is. So it's cast metal slide. And then the magazine itself is weighted. It looks like they put some kind of a cast metal in there. This weighs 5 ounces. So all in all, it's very good, well weighted. And it's heavy. And it really helps with accurate shooting. Okay. Now also the hammer, they lost the hammer, which also gets an A+, A+ for the harmonics, A+ for the quality of the magazine, and they got rid of the hammer. On the Daisy 340, of course you got to have a hammer because it's supposed to look like a Beretta, but it can cause problems. On that metal post you see right there, this has 6,000 shots on it because I stopped dry firing the hammer, but I lost 2 guns because that post broke. So the hammer can cause problems, just to make a quick note there. But you kind of need it for when it looks like a Beretta. I guess they could have tried to get one in here, but so they did away with the hammer. That's good. One less thing to go wrong. So A+ there, A+ on the harmonics. And then let's look at the magazine. Okay, so on the magazine, what we have here is something pretty special. And hold on, I'm going to get a little flashlight here. We're going to go point by point on how special the magazine and why this pistol is so good. Okay, so on this magazine, I'm going to highlight this here, is you see that top, the prongs on this thing are very thick plastic. That was a problem with the Daisy 340. The BBs would shoot through here. They have a thinner runway there where the loader that loads the BB into your breech comes through. It's very good quality, thick plastic. So right there, so basically right here where I'm circling with this pen, the Crosman team really knocked themselves out on top of weighting it. Okay, so if we compare that to the 340 magazine, this has an ammo dump in it, which I like, but I've learned to have to put my finger over the top like this, and it helps reinforce those prongs and prolong the life of the magazine. I just had to toss one because the BBs just kept popping out the top, popping out the front, and it just gets old, and I know that I have to do this and keep it there, okay, because of the nature of the way you load with this. They have a stick here that you force BBs up into there. Now, the way the Crosman team came at this, you get 20 shots, you pull this down and lock it in there, and you get 20 shots, you load them in there, and then it's spring-loaded, so then you come back up, so something like the Daisy 25. But I want to highlight that again. They really knocked themselves out right there where I'm lighting up. The top of those prongs is high quality, very thick plastic. They don't flex, and the BBs simply do not shoot up through here. I've got no jams, and so I give the Crosman team high marks for that. Something so small but so vital to the performance of the gun. So very high quality plastics and worthy of FP10 on here, especially on that point. Okay, so that's a great thing. So, all right, so let's see here. So we have shot the gun, and hold on. Going to I had to make a script here because there's a lot to cover. Sorry. And then, all right. Okay. So basically, I cannot say that there's anything wrong with this gun that I've been able to find. So that will about cover it for this video. And on the second video, we'll go ahead and get into lubricating the power plant and ammo specifications. I've given this gun an A+ on the feeder. They lost the hammer, A+, less can go wrong. A+ on the harmonics with the weight of this gun and metal slide. So unfortunately, there is one problem area, and the second video we will show you a workaround. Okay, but otherwise a great gun. Okay, thank you.